Hey, this is Obelisk speaking, doing a One Piece chapter review, and it is 1041, and it is Kumurasaki. And we see the cover page, and Pudding is punching Niji and Yonji for bullying Sanji, and I don't know if this really makes up for her character, but we'll see where this cover story goes. It seems to be focusing on Whole Cake right now. And we start off right where we left off, where the secret. And it turns out that Odin actually tore out some important pages of laughter. And it's very interesting here because Yamato says, "That's incredible, Monosuke. You can actually talk to the elephant. It's just as Odin anticipated. You are the one who will guide the world to its dawn." So pretty much that means in Odin's prophecy or his journal, the one who can hear the voice of all things will guide I think they're mistaken here, because Momonosuke states that he tore out some of the pages of laughter from the journal, which leaves the most important part out. So, as far as I know, Momonosuke can only hear the voice of Sunisha, but not the voice of all things. So maybe they're mistaken here. And Momonosuke does state something very important here, like, "I'm not smart enough to understand. If I wouldn't mean to expose my people to danger, I do not wish to open the borders. I am simply a coward." Am I simply a coward? So Momonosuke is having his doubts of opening the border, because I think he's starting to comprehend now that once they defeat Kaido and they open the borders, there's going to be other threats. There's going to be something else happening, and Luffy's not going to be around to save him. So he's having his doubts. And before Yamato responds, we cut off. And it's pretty interesting that Zunisha is straight up stating, "I've come to join the fight at your side." He's awaiting orders. So I wonder what was Zunisha's crime? And we still see the ships. The ships are still there. They haven't been attacked. So we're gonna see where this goes. We go to third floor, and it appears the fight's over. Now he wants water. Winner, Raizo. Fukuroku's smoking, but Jinbei shows up. What is Raizo? What's going on with Raizo? How careless of me. The preparations were already complete. The preparations for what? What's going on here? So Raizo has some sort of trump card? Even though he's half, like he should have at least third-degree burns on him. So I don't know where this is going, but we'll see where this goes. And we get to the Insufferable Orochi, and he's complaining about all this stuff, and some debris falls on him. Now this is odd because normally we see blood, pulls blood, he's coughing on blood, and he's trapped. So he's gonna be burned alive and trapped. And we find out that Kumurasaki planted him a Kairoseki nail. Now it's unclear where, but Orochi can't use his powers now. And this is probably the most effective way of killing him. And I'm really hoping he dies this time. Please die. No redemption arc for this dude. Just die. And it is fitting that she dies him. Where's Kyoshiro? I thought Kyoshiro was here. I'm really hoping he dies. And then she finally reveals, like, she's Odin's daughter. And we see his horror face right here. So I'm hoping he dies here. I'm hoping this is his end. Then we move on to Izo and the CP0. And it looks like she takes one out. She defeats one. Not confirmed death, but she does say just survive Kiko. So I don't think she's dead. and the other one is wounded, and he's completely dead. So he wounded one and defeated one flat out, which means these guys aren't that big of a deal. Kiko was wounded. Okay, Kiko was wounded. It was made known that she was wounded. Not only was it made known that she was wounded, she was facing 2 fresh CP0s. And she managed to wound one and defeat another one. Like, these guys aren't that all. I don't understand why Robin and Brooke were running from them. They're a joke. Period. And we get the ring he's getting from the other one. And he's pretty much stating that new orders from the elders themselves have come in, and they want what is his name, Luffy to be taken out. What do you mean, Straw Hat? Eliminate Straw Hat once, and this is probably tying up to the Devil Fruit Awakening, pretty much, which I think is. And he says, and pretty much this CP0 is stating the truth, like, that's impossible, like, that's suicide. You can't interfere with a battle with them, and he is right, that's suicide. But the elders didn't give much details, that's what's pretty much being said here. But they have to avoid the worst case scenario. That's what they're saying. But we see X-Drake, and X-Drake's about to pull something to this CP0, meaning there's only going to be one CP0 left. This guy right here. Which is... I don't think... And then we see Kinemon and Kiko and Usopp. And Kinemon should be dead, but he's alive somehow. We see Nekomamushi and Carrot, and I forgot the dog name. And then we see Frankie actually did manage to catch up to Zoro and catch him. And he's stating several times, "Oh, tell me you're alive." Zoro just black eye. So I don't understand what's going on here. So he managed to catch him before he fell. I thought he fell in with Big Mom, but apparently he didn't. So that's good. And then we move to Nami, apparently. And Zeus is... So I guess Zeus is crying because of Big Mom. Because he is connected to her. And then we see the most useless... Like, Oda's really struggling to try to stall these characters out. Like, Marco, instead of being in the battlefield, like, mopping up fodder, he is literally healing the baboon and the dog. Like, those dogs. They're literally useless. Like, what the hell is going on? Now, once again, we go... He's still got enough for Kaido. Oh, this is pretty interesting. In the scanlations, it says something else. But here it says you still got enough for Kaido. And then whiz, nah, I'm done. If the man who emerges from the fight turns out to be Kaido, then I don't have the willpower left to resist. So pretty much now hopefully it's true. Because, you know, Law... There's a lot of contradictions with Law here. Especially after the latest chapters. And they're pretty much stating if... So I'm not sure if this is foreshadowing Kaido actually winning. My best scenario is for a draw. They both pass out and that's it. It's a tie. But they're pretty much concerned Kaido's the one that's going to come down. And then we see Conqueror's King Hockey Clash. And I guess Kaido sensed that Ling Ling's no longer on the island. Ling Ling lost the fight. Jaggy and Trafa, who... That's amazing. So Luffy is complimenting them. That's amazing. And then Kaido gets a flashback. And then we get young Big Man she was pretty good looking. I wonder what happened to her to turn her into that blob. And she's pretty much stating, don't trust him, he's a scoundrel. So she's pretty much, she's still acting motherly here. Because Kaido's supposed to be 15 here. And he's barely joining, and I guess Big Mom has more time with this crew. and she's saying not to trust Rocks, I guess. He's a scoundrel. If you have any trouble, come to me, Lindley. So Big Mom seems like a good person here in this flashback, like a decent, and she wants to. I'm going to be the king of the seas. So she wants to be the king of the seas. Put it there. Back. So they've known each other for a long time. And then Kaido enters in it, tears and beers in his beer. He starts complaining. So he starts going in his drunken phase and he's weeping. Luffy immediately goes into some form. He appears to have a snout here. What's going on here? And he does Snake Man. Oh, so he does Snake and a Hydra, new attack. And I think he gets hit like 9 different places. And this is King's confused. Gear 4 Snake Man, Gomu Gomu. Your ambitions mean nothing to me, especially if it leaves the people here no food to eat. This is kind of... This statement is wrong. I think Luffy's in the wrong here. Based on my understanding. This is my final Gear 4. So this is the final time he's using Gear 4. I'm not stopping until completely run out of strength. Where all these punches come from. And Kaido just states where all these punches come from. So he took that and he doesn't look that. He's not like, he's just like, where the punches come. Last thing I do. So he's pretty much saying, I'm gonna use all my strength off and drive you out of Wano. If this the last thing. Luffy's not saying kill or anything. Drive you, and it's very important what he's saying here. Drive you out of Wano. So this to me. So Luffy's not. This is, but then I don't. If this means awakening, that means he won't be able to use Haki, because once he runs out of Gear 4, he can't use Haki anymore. So that means if he does defeat Kaido, it's gonna be pure awakening Devil Fruit. So we're gonna see where this goes. The battle is moving forth, and it looks like we might just be focusing on the final battle chapters of Kaido versus Luffy, because that's all there's left. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's all there's left. So this is good, and I really like the flashback, Big Mom. I was wondering if Big Mom could do like the Sekken, the one in Dressrosa where Lao Ji does, like where he had like a reserved energy, but instead like the reverse, where Big Mom could consume all her like fat and all that stuff and like turn it into energy and reverse back to this form, and like she's back in action. But I don't think Oda's gonna go that far. But other than that, the Hydra Attack, pretty impressive. I wonder where he got this from, because I doubt Luffy's seen Orochi. So where did he get this Hydra from? Has Luffy encountered? Because Luffy is based, his attacks are based on animals he's encountered. So has Luffy seen a Hydra in real life, like a real life Hydra animal? This is very interesting. But it looks like we're entering the final climactic battle, and Oda stated that he was going to surprise us. So the only surprise I'll get is Luffy loses or ends in a draw, some shape or form of draw. Or just Shanks just shows up and slaps him like, no, stop fighting. But other than that, this is kudos. Laws and Kids victory is gonna be massive in terms of news and shaking the world up. And if Kaido loses too, this is also gonna be massive. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day and peace out. Peace.